What's up guys, Leo here. In this video, I'll be talking about a guide to how to apply to colleges. So, before we get started, if you enjoy my videos, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, please give a thumbs up to this video because it really helps the channel a lot. This video will be part 1 in a series on how to apply to college. And in this video, I will give a general overview of how to apply to college and how the college admissions process works. So starting off, I'll be talking about, so what do we even use to apply to colleges? Well, we use an app, usually, most people at least, use an app called the Common App. You could also use a Coalition app, but I'm not too familiar with that app, so I would recommend just going with the Common App. Get it? The Common App? Anyway, the Common App is like basically a website online where most people use to apply to colleges, and you can apply to basically any college in the US that uses the Common App, and that's basically every single college in the US. So, how does the Common App work, and what do you need to do to prepare for you to use the Common App? So, generally speaking, if you're a rising senior, so you're about to go in your senior year of high school, you want to create a Common App account in early August when it opens. And in general, the Common App consists of several components. One of these components is the essays. So there are two main types of essays. There is the main 650-word Common App essay, and these prompts, they never change. So basically, you can start your Common App essay, and I would highly recommend you do this. You can start your Common App essay the summer before your senior year. And at least maybe like write a draft or even revise a couple of drafts of your Common App essay, choosing a prompt from, I believe, 6 or 7 prompts, and just writing the essay down. I would highly also recommend not to just submit the first draft, but rather revise and edit many drafts over and over again until the draft becomes good. Yeah. But it's also important to note that the essay is not supposed to be like a certain standard because everyone has a different writing style. You want to convey, I guess, yourself to a certain extent because you don't want to be too personal and give every single detail by yourself. But at the same time, you don't want to be impersonal and not give any detail by yourself. So it's all about getting the right balance of how personal you're getting, and also what you want to convey to colleges, as well as what type of person you are in general. So it's like this balance of realism and what appearance you want to give to colleges. There's a component of how personal you want to get. So that is the Common App essay. There are also supplemental essays. So it is important to note that the Common App essay is submitted to every single college you apply to. So just one 650-word essay and you're done with that. That can be submitted to every single college you apply to. But there's also supplemental essays, which are essays that are specific to each college you apply to. For example, I think this year when I applied to Duke had, I wrote 3 supplemental essays. A why Duke essay, and I think there was 5 optional questions that you can choose 2 to do, or something like that. So that's how usually the supplemental for each college works. So it's specific to each college, and there are usually several essays they have to write, depending on the college you apply to, of course. So just to recap, there is the Common App essay and the supplemental essay, with the Common App essay applied to every college, and the supplemental essay applied to each specific college. Alright, next we have your activities and honors. So in the Common App, there are 10 activities you can list, and there are 5 honors you can list. I would recommend using up all 10 spaces for activities. Unless you really don't have 10 activities, then that's okay. You can just leave some blank. It probably won't go against you. And it's important to use action verbs and good verbs in your descriptions, and as well as numbers and anything that makes your activities stand out to these officers that are looking at your essays, the admission officers. You want good titles, and yeah, I can make another video about this, but that's how it should work in general. For the 5 honors, it's the same concept. You want to use action verbs, you want to make things stand out, use numbers, and maybe put the full name of competitions if you're doing competitions. And also, I wanted to point out something else. Actually, before I point that out, I wanted to talk about your teacher recommendations. So outside of your essays, your extracurriculars consist of honors and activities, there are also teacher recommendations. So how do you even ask for teacher recommendations? Well, it's pretty simple. You just ask your teachers, and I recommend to do this at the end of your junior year of high school. As of who to ask, I would recommend to ask teachers that know you well and think highly of you. But also, you want to prioritize teachers that are more recent. So junior teachers are the best, sophomore teachers are okay, but please, probably you won't want to ask a teacher in your freshman year of high school because they taught you way too long ago for you to be able to get a good recommendation from. So that's what you want to do for recommendations. Ask early, always ask early, and the teacher is able to submit their recommendation if you add them as a recommender on the Common App page. And just for logistical reasons, I believe you add each college you want to apply to on the Common App, and you apply from there. And before I talk about the special thing at the end, I wanted to note there are really 2 main categories of applications. There's the early round, and there's the regular, or the regular deadline round. So there's the early deadline and the regular deadline. For the early deadline, there are also, there's technically 3 categories, maybe even 4 categories of schools you can apply to. Well, mainly, actually 2 main ones, okay? Well, 3, yeah. So there is early action, which is non-binding, and also, which is non-binding, and also you can apply to as many other colleges as you can. So what early action means is, let's say apply to UNC Chapel Hill, which is early action. You can get your result early, but you don't have to go to UNC Chapel Hill to get in. And also, you can apply to as many other early colleges as you want. So UNC Chapel doesn't restrict the number of early colleges you apply to. However, in general terms, if you were to apply to, for example, something that uses restricted early action, REA, that means that it would be non-binding as well. So it means if you get in, you don't have to go there. But it would be restricted because if you apply to that college, that means that you can't apply early to any other big private school, or even, I think, any other private school in general. So there's restrictions for what college you can apply early to. So you can't apply restricted early action to both Harvard and Princeton, for example. And there's also something called single choice, I think, early action or something like that. That's basically the same thing as restricted early action. It's pretty similar, but you might want to look into that. I believe Yale has that. And finally, there's also early decision. And early decision comes in 2 groups as well. There's early decision 1 and early decision 2. I would not recommend doing early decision 2, but I would recommend doing early decision, just general early decision. Early decision 2 comes after the regular early decision, and it's the same concept as early decision, so I'll explain early decision. Early decision, or ED, is when it's both binding and restrictive. So for example, I applied early decision Duke, and that means that I have to go to Duke if I get in, and also that means that I can't apply to any other colleges early, except for public schools, not any other private schools. So those are, and then finally there is regular decisions, and the regular deadline, it just works as usual. It's the most simple. It's not restrictive, it's non-binding, and you get your results pretty late. So that's how regular decisions work. Alright, so finally for the special thing at the end, I want to talk about the additional information section of the Common App. So, if you cannot fit all the info you have for the Common App, you might want to take advantage of the additional info section on the Common App. And this is very important because it can help you highlight some even more of your abilities and like your interests, maybe awards or activities, and you can add more information, anything you want in the additional info section. There's also a section that you can talk about any difficulties you face that may have caused some holes or maybe some down points in your application. You can explain to the admissions officer. So you probably want to take advantage of this section because it's free. I believe 650 words you can use to highlight whatever you want about your application. So this is just an overview of the Common App and generally how to apply to colleges. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. And please be sure to subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Thank you guys. See you guys next time.